Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
What's up, guys? Welcome. AW here, Airwater. Hey, Vortex. Hey, Arkham. Hey, George. That's okay, man. I'm not gonna go long. It's not gonna be long. Sorry, I gotta finish by 8. And there was a chance I may have not. There was a chance I might have delayed this to later tonight, but but I'm able to do it now. But hey, guys, this is AW here, Airwater. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe. Tomorrow, let's pop episode 2. It's gonna be tomorrow, around the same time, and it's gonna be a fun episode tomorrow. There's lots to talk about, especially after today's Star Wars and Daredevil news, Punisher, Daredevil news. We're gonna talk about those two stuff tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the Ninja Turtle stuff tomorrow, and we're gonna talk other stuff, the Batman stuff. Penguin, the Batman stuff. A lot of stuff to talk tomorrow, really, on my Let's Talk Pop show tomorrow. Okay, and then also tomorrow we'll be watching episode 2 of Mandalorian, and then later that day I will be making a video of a spoiler-free review. So that will not be a stream. And then Saturday, which will be episode 3 of Let's Talk Pop. For the first 20 minutes, we will talk about Mandalorian season 3, episode 18, chapter 18. It does look weird, Vortex. I kind of agree. So let's talk Pop episode 2 tomorrow, and let's talk Pop episode 3. We'll focus on the second episode of season 3 of Mandalorian. Okay, that's gonna be a spoiler review. So a non-spoiler review video will be uploaded tomorrow, and then Saturday we'll be talking about it on my live spoiler-free. So make sure you've seen the episode, right? Right, new episode when it's released tomorrow. But yes, I'm gonna do some invitations. Well, actually, here you go, Blind Bro. Here, buddy. Come on. I know you. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. I gotta say something offline. Just a minute. Something just popped up on my Twitter account. I can't say it here. But where's my friend? Okay. I'll just do Daredevil. Yes, we're getting John Berthel back as Punisher. This is not really this episode. We're gonna talk more about it tomorrow. But okay, that's good. But that's not my point. I don't care. You could get this actor back playing the character. My point is it's about how you use the character in the show, storytelling wise, plot wise, dialogue wise. Hugh Jackman has been in a bunch of X-Men Wolverine movies, and he's been in terrible X-Men Wolverine movies, right? It doesn't matter if the actors playing those characters, it doesn't mean anything. What really means stuff, what makes a show great is the dialogue and the plot, man. It's not about who's coming back or who's in it. I'm telling you, John Berthel's coming back as Punisher. People are excited for that, but To me, that doesn't just because you're coming back as a certain character doesn't mean the show's gonna be great. Or a movie. There's evidence on that, like over and over. Okay. So it's great getting Charlie Cox back too. But so what? So what? Charlie Cox, you know what? He could be a Daredevil and the show could still suck. The show could still suck. We got. I'm sorry. You got this actor coming back as this character in any movie or any TV show. It doesn't mean it's gonna be good. Doesn't mean it's gonna be good. We had Christian Bale coming back as Batman in The Dark Knight Rises. The movie wasn't good. Doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything, guys. It doesn't mean anything, really. All that matters is how good the writing is, how good the storytelling is, okay? Okay? It doesn't mean anything if somebody's coming back. Okay? It doesn't mean anything. If that was the case, every movie with Wolverine in it would be with Wolverine, with Hugh Jackman would have been good. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is Last of Us. This episode. Hey, Blind Bill, where the heck are you, man? Get your butt on here. Get your butt on here. It's just the Disney Plus shows from Marvel. For Disney Plus and Marvel, is right now, we don't even know the official date for Secret Invasion. We don't know the official date for Loki Season 2. We don't know when Ironheart's coming. We don't know when Covenant of Chaos is coming. We don't know when Wonder Man's coming out. We don't know when Ironheart's coming out. We don't know when Daredevil. Everything's getting pushed back on Disney Plus and Marvel. Look, dudes, guys, they said Daredevil Born Again is going to come out at the Comic-Con. They said it was going to come out in 2024. I'm telling you, Daredevil Born Again is not going to come out in 2024. You hear it here, folks. Daredevil Born Again, I don't think it's going to come out in 2024. And if it does, it'll be late 2024. Okay? Okay? I still think it's going to get pushed back. I think stuff is going to get pushed back in Marvel. But yeah. Yeah, this is okay. Secret Invasion and Loki Season 2 have been confirmed for this year. Yes. Have been confirmed for this year. Yes, that's true. Those two shows have been 100% confirmed this year. That's true. Hey, where's my friend? Blind, get your butt in here. What are you doing? Oh, there he is. There we go. Yeah. Hey, Blind Bro. What's up? How are you, man?
What's up?
So I'm just explaining how just because somebody's reprising a role doesn't mean the show's going to be good. Like I get this, people might like you're like me, Brian Bro, right? You're like me, Brian, right? Where did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you pretty much kind of agree that you may think Daredevil and Echo may kind of suck. Maybe
I don't know if Daredevil will suck. Like so many people are like misinterpreting what I'm saying. Like I don't understand how you can get all these.
Oh yeah,
that's why I hate Twitter. But anyway,
my point
I don't
is,
think Daredevil's gonna suck. I just think my criticism of it is, why wouldn't you have Foggy Nelson? I don't really care so much about Karen? Because we all know that Karen died in the comics and she wasn't around, right?
Yeah,
but like every single run of Daredevil has Foggy in it, right? I even said it. That's like
I think it's getting
not having
recast.
Alfred. I
I think.
hope he's not getting recast. If he's getting recast, that'd be really disappointing.
Oh, well, Marvel does it all the time, though. But my point is,
Then why
some
didn't they
people,
just recast Daredevil?
some people replied to me in my tweets like, "Oh, relax, guys. They got John Berthal back. John Berthal back as Punisher." I'm like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
hate
but
when people do shit like that. It's so
doesn't
annoying.
mean anything. Doesn't mean the
Yeah,
show's gonna be good.
like there's a reason why they put that in there is because they know that there's going to be bad fan outcry when they're not bringing back the two most important characters of the three
Yeah,
other seasons, right?
I'm
So
just
it's
saying.
annoying. I'm not saying I'm means the show is going to be bad, right? But I'm saying like this is a important aspect of the character that is now missing.
Yeah, it's an eight. It's okay. Yeah, so this is why you don't need Karen. If she's that's why you don't need Karen. But Foggy, yeah. My point is like some people tweeted me that I'm not replied to me on Twitter. It's like, don't relax. They got John Berthel back as Punisher. I'm like, what does that mean? So they got the actor back. It doesn't mean the show's gonna be good.
Yeah, but Vortex, Foggy still appears. Like people
Yeah.
keep saying this. It's like, yes, I know he's not always around. Like even the
This
Mark Wade run, he
this is
was
supposed to be
barely
tomorrow's.
around.
This is really supposed to be tomorrow's discussion.
No, it's really annoying because it's like I don't understand why MC because this is like reactionary. It's like, oh, people don't like something and they're like, just wait, why is it all doom and gloom? It's like we're reacting to the news at hand.
And
I'm not saying the show's gonna be garbage.
I hate the replies I get for it's gonna be good because they got this actor back for this role. I'm like, have you seen this? Well, if that's the case, every movie that had Hugh Jackman in the X-Men movies or the Wolverine movie would have been good if that's the case. You can't use that
The only
excuse.
Vortex, the only reason why people are saying that it might take place in New York is because they're filming in New York.
They are filming in New York.
Why
Yeah.
else would you? They shot the original series in New York, right? Why would you shoot in New York and then pretend it's another city?
Newsflash:
Meanwhile, the character is from New York. That
No Way
doesn't make any
Home,
sense.
No Way Home was shot in New York.
Yeah, they always shoot New York for New York. Same thing with LA.
Yeah,
Like, why would they not?
yeah.
Right? Like maybe a couple scenes here and there they can't, right? Maybe because they're
I
like,
think
okay, this street is too crowded, but
I don't
still.
think I think LA they actually use Atlanta sometimes. I think early in the pandemic they used Atlanta for LA. I think She-Hulk was shot in LA, not in LA. I think She-Hulk was actually shot in Atlanta because they did it during the pandemic.
Sure, but why shoot in New York? The
I
character's
don't know.
from New York
I
and
don't know.
you're shooting somewhere else. That
I don't
doesn't
know.
make any sense.
Yeah, guys, but this is not what you know. What we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, okay? And tomorrow we're going to talk about this Star Wars because there's a lot of this is well,
Okay,
this
sorry, Vortex. Sorry. I'm just like like I just don't like what infuriates me is when like people have these reactionary responses to other people's reaction and then it's like an overgeneralization of something they've never even said. Like apparently me not liking that Foggy is not coming back means that I think the show is bad. Like are you guys like in like fifth grade? Like
and they don't
seriously.
they don't read my tweets. I didn't say the show's going to be
No,
bad. I fear it will
yeah, no,
suck.
like they just make these broad assumptions and it's like yeah, it's really annoying as hell
Yeah,
when people do shit like that. There's people in our community who are doing that and it's annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. Like you guys wouldn't be acting like this if we were talking on a
I'm
stream.
just I to me this is not just a Daredevil Echo thing. To me, it's an MCU thing. That's what because it's an MCU thing. The direction of MCU is going because Ant-Man 3. I didn't say my confidence is shared in MCU, but my confidence in the MCU is not there. And I thought Ant-Man 3 would reignite my confidence in it. But obviously, that's not the case. That's like, it's not, I guess it's my overall fear of the MCU. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm generalizing. Maybe I'm generalizing. Maybe I picked on those two shows because really, I'm generalizing the whole MCU. Because I fear for Kang Dynasty because I think the writer is clueless. I think the writer's completely clueless. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if any of these projects will be bad, right?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is gonna be bad, right? But like, as information comes out, and they're like, oh, this is obviously bad. Like, why are people's reaction to be like, oh, the show's not gonna be bad? It's like I'm not even saying the show is gonna be bad. I'm saying this specific news is bad,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing, and that's why I always say there's this comment on Twitter that is so like this like literally is Twitter in a nutshell. You would say something like, "I like pancakes," and then someone responds with, "So you hate waffles?" I never said anything about waffles, right? That's why I hate Twitter.
I
It's like
I
people make all these assumptions.
my tweet says I fear Daredevil Born Again and Echo may suck. I didn't say I didn't say it will suck. I like I didn't say these shows will suck. I just say I fear they will suck. That's there's a difference there, right?
Yeah, you're skeptical.
Yeah.
I really do not understand. It's like this community is like full. I'm sorry, but this community every time acts like children when it comes to these things.
It's a
Like they don't
tracker.
understand nuance. It's so
No.
annoying.
It's to me it's a track record of the MCU right now. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Hopefully Guardians can reunite my confidence in the MCU. That's if it doesn't, then I'll be concerned for DC. But yeah, we'll talk about this more tomorrow because this is a Disney thing right now. It's like we got the Marvel, we got Star Wars, and our Jarbo is gonna make a stream on why Catholic Kennedy has to go. So he's agreeing with Doomcock now. Who's Doomcock simp? Yeah. So, but this is Last of Us episode 8 spoiler review and all that stuff we're gonna talk about again tomorrow. Vortex, Bob really likes you, man. He wants to be friends with you. So we're gonna talk about episode 8.
No, Vortex, you're cool. I'm sorry. It's just that people were saying that exact same thing on Twitter, and so that's why I said all that stuff. Like I said, there's people in our community, not you, obviously, that were saying all these things, and it was just like, come on, right? But anyway, sorry.
Okay, so yeah, we'll talk episode 8. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk a little bit off stream too. So episode 8, we're getting to the finale. The finale is this Sunday, guys, of Last of Us. Episode 8 was intense. I think it was the most intense episode we got of the show so far because we finally we finally get to meet David, who's religious, but he's kind of like cult, like religious, kind of like word for word, everything is God. But it turns out, he's more than just a religious fanatic, right? He's kind of like, I'll just say he's a cannibal.
Well, the show is they kind of change it up a little bit because even though everything is mostly the same when it comes to David, there's like small little changes that, in my opinion, like makes the character a lot better, right? Because in the game, he's just kind of a creepy guy who they're cannibals, right? But in this one, it's like they were actually cannibals because they had no other food, right? Like they wouldn't normally do that under normal circumstances, right? So it wasn't like they were totally crazy, but they were crazy enough to do that, right?
Yeah, because they had to survive for the community as he is responsible for. He believes he's doing in the right, his good. That's why he uses religion as something to, thinks he's doing good, even by killing someone, even though it's technically a sin. But he thinks he's doing it for a good reason for his community. But like, this kind of make Joel look like the bad guy when he just like killed those 2 guys he executed, basically. Like Joel's not
that
a good
was in
guy.
the game.
Yeah,
that was directly from the game.
Yeah, I like the beginning how David was talking to Ellie and basically gave her backstory before everything went to hell, before the apocalypse happened. He was just a regular teacher. I like Ellie's question is like, how can you still believe in religion after all this shit? And David was like, I started to follow religion after the apocalypse. Because that's a good question by Ellie. If you ask anybody who follows religion, how can you follow religion? How can you still believe in this stuff after everything that's happened? That's a very common question in this kind of apocalyptic kind of things. Because there's in Walking Dead, they still got that religious preacher, the African American guy, the priest, whatever, Gabriel, right? Gabriel, he still believes in God. It's like, how can you believe in God after the apocalypse happened? How can you still believe in all that? Base David. That's I like in the guys that we took on the hunting, right, on the hunt for the guy, because in the previous episode, actually not previous episode 6, this previous episode was the flashback of Ellie and Wiley, but in 6, the guy that Joel killed at the end was part of that community, right? And all the other guys that were on the hunting we're out to get the guy.
Well, did you see? There's a change from the game, because if you noticed, it's implied that Joel really didn't kill him. It was David who actually killed him, because
really?
they cannibalized him. Yeah, that's why they had some bodies left, because it's like they weren't even stumbling upon a lot of people, right?
No.
So yeah,
Well,
it's kind of like implied that David killed that girl's dad and ate him, right? Like he was injured and then they killed him.
oh yeah. Cause the one he slapped, right?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
cause she won. Oh, of course, this is because that was her dad, obviously, because she won Joel dead, and that pissed off David, because David's very religious. Like,
Well, he is very religious. It was very interesting because um he kind of was like implying like the only reason why he became religious was to basically have to like rein in people.
mm-hmm.
And I seen people were like calling him a cult leader, which I mean, he never really gave me cult leader vibes, except for obviously the scene with Ellie, right?
Yeah,
But like he seemed like, and then when he slapped the girl too, right? But like if those things didn't really happen and he didn't show that, you can kind of like maybe understand like his point, where it was like, oh, like if we didn't have religion, then people would be like, oh, like the world is fucking ending, and what are they really gonna do? And they would just go mad, right? And so
mm-hmm.
he was like, he had to like step in and basically be like, hey, I'm gonna like lead you guys through religion to keep you guys like calm, right?
Yeah.
And that's why he was like always telling the guys like, hey, we're not gonna kill Joel, we're gonna bring him to justice, right? Because he didn't want them to go like off the deep end,
No,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And they didn't know that they were eating people too. That's another point too, right? It wasn't like they all knew, oh, we're gonna cannibalize people and eat them. It was only like David and his right hand man who knew.
Yeah.
Everybody else didn't know.
Where Ellie was caged up. That was kind of like in the. That's where she was caged up. You can see that's where they that's where they kill their, and they do it living. They don't kill them, like they're not dead when they kill them. They kill them alive. Like, because they were gonna kill Ellie who was alive. Because David offered her basically salvation, a home, right? Like to be with them, to give her guidance, all that, and she rejected him, obviously, and that's when David, said, "Oh, you're gonna be food for our community," and I loved I I love David in this episode. I mean, I know he's not. I know, but they should have maybe introduced. So they should maybe introduce the doctor that Joe eventually kills. I mean, at the end, somehow at the ending, not with the community, but like at the ending, who thinks they can use a cure that use. I feel like I'll say this. I feel like the show might need another couple episodes. I just feel like the show might need a couple more episodes.
I don't know. I feel like one of the maybe like we'll have to see in the next episode, but like
Yeah.
My biggest issue with the show is that there is kind of a lack of infected, and that's probably because they removed the spores, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really make sense for the infected to be outside or in buildings anymore, unless
Yeah.
like someone was infected and they were already in a building, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of like conflicted because I think the actual story part of it is really good, but
Yeah.
the infected and seeing all of them and the sequences with the infected, there's really not a lot of them. They really cut back on all that.
Yeah. It's because they have to talk about the. I mean, they have to talk a lot more about the infected and how she's secure, like because she is secure. Basically, she has whatever it is, the vaccine, whatever she has in her body, and and she yelled out she was infected, and David didn't believe her, but the other guy did. It's all the other guys want revenge. David's like, no, we gotta keep. David wants to keep order. Doesn't want people to go out of the deep end. He doesn't want to lose their way, like you said. He's But you saw like Ellie is like the one that started to rebel against him, right? Rebel, reject. I mean, you saw David, the craziness, the sanity out of David started to come out when Ellie was rejecting him everything over and over, because all she saw was a crazy guy, really, a crazy guy. And then she saw that when he offered her food, it was people. She noticed that it was human food.
Right. So yeah, because
It's
she
like,
saw the ear on the ground.
yeah. And she's like, "You're eating people," and I understand the reasoning, like you said. I understand the reasoning, and it's not a first. Last of Us is not the first show, movie, TV, whatever, video game to introduce the idea where if there's no food, the one
Hmm.
person's like, you know what, you're allowed to eat me or something to survive. It's not the first idea. It's actually quite common if you really think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That we've seen that before. Yeah.
yeah, but this is different. It made it much more interesting. Like because
Hmm.
most of the time the other stuff is either a joke or not. But this is much more interesting.
Yeah. I think that this one, I seen some. Well, not some people. What was that? Oh my god.
Rogue's Vortex.
Oh my god. Who is Vortex eating? Now we need to know.
Vortex. You like eating one?
Oh god.
He has a crush on Rogue. He hates he wants to kill Gambit.
Oh god.
Hey, Gambit's French like you, Vortex. Well, it's a different kind of French.
Hmm.
He's Cajun, right? But he's
Cajun.
not.
Yeah.
But he's not French. France.
Oh
See
man.
how embarrassed he is.
Oh man. You got exposed.
RJSJ Ortega, Vortex as Rogue.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Oh, I loved it. I love it. You see Joel goes in when Joel finds the community, he goes into that when they have that when it goes into where they have the three dead humans hanging with no head, all butchered up.
Hmm.
Oh, that was disgusting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
But the scene with Ellie and David at the end when David was David sounded like look, I don't know if I got the sense here.
Hmm.
I know he's very religious. Do you get the sense he was kind of like sexually predator too?
Yeah. He was a. That's the part where I'm like in the game you can definitely tell because he's just like, oh, we can, I could keep you around and all that stuff like that. And he was kind of saying that, but then he was also like trying to act like a father. So
Yeah.
so it was also like kind of like disturbing in that way, where it's like he wants to be her father, but yet he wants to like molest her too. So it's like really fucked up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It kind of that part to me, and when he slapped the girl, right? I thought that kind of took away from his character a little bit.
Yeah, because I
Like,
thought, he was more of a, compassionate kind of.
yeah, maybe I mean, maybe he was always like that, and he just used religion
Try to
to
justify
ser-
himself.
yeah, so he can be in a position. I guess that also makes sense too, right?
And
Because he was telling her, hey, like you're a leader and I'm a natural leader and we're full of, the world is
yeah,
full of sheeps, right? And we're shepherds. And so it kind of
hey Degrassi.
m makes sense that he would like abuse that, right? Like,
Yeah,
um, be put in a position like that. I mean, and actually, now that I think about it, right? What was his occupation before being
math teacher.
a math teacher,
Yeah, I know the
right?
implication there.
Right. So yeah, I think maybe that it was there. It's just very subtle. Um, I guess the more we
And
talk
maybe
mention it, yeah.
maybe he turned to religion because maybe he feels guilty about that. Some people that
Hmm.
turn to religion because this about some people turn to religion because if they've done a lot of terrible things in their shit and they feel sinful stuff like that, and they want to turn to
Hmm.
religion, they want to turn to forgiveness. Maybe that's what David was like as a teacher. Maybe he was uh some taking advantage of the students, and
Hmm.
he went to religion to try, absolve, have God, Jesus, whatever, absolve him of his sins. But still in his mind, it's still there, and he can always say,
Hmm.
he can always go back and say, "Oh, and go, always go back and do confession if they could do confession in time. If they have priests or
Hmm.
anything. Always try to absolve him of his sins. Maybe you have a point there.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I think blind. I invited to Isaac's server.
Yeah, I never joined. I never got to join it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the link because I'm on my phone right now, Vortex. So like I can't see the YouTube chat. Like I can only see the StreamYard chat, and I can't copy it. So I'll go back and then just copy the link.
Yeah. But I just love this picture. But I actually love my thumbnail. It's really my thumbnail,
Hmm.
but I want to get the picture. I've got to upload. Where is it? I gotta get it. I got it. Last of Us. I gotta find it. There you go. I love this. I love this picture.
Yeah, we're just chopping them up.
Oh
It
yeah,
makes me wonder, now that those people are because they weren't there during the whole fight, like what's gonna happen to them?
yeah. You didn't get to
Now I'm
see.
a lot more curious.
You didn't see them when Joel got there.
No.
You didn't see them when she was there. She didn't see them. Like, what happened to them? Like,
Hmm.
did they
Yeah, I would
kill
want to
them?
know.
Yeah. Did they
I don't know
kill
if
him?
he killed them. That'd be way too many people to kill.
No. Yeah, he wouldn't kill them. He knows it's against, and he wouldn't kill them. Otherwise, you have nobody left. If he
He
kills them
might kill a
all,
few of them though.
yeah.
I could have seen that happening where it's like where that actually might be like a really messed up story where like he's you keep David, he's still around and he's like killing his people and they're trying to survive and so he has to kill them to eat them.
Mm.
Right? That'd be a fucked up story.
Or like, it'd be a great story.
Yeah, that actually
Cannibal,
might.
cannibal serial killer or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like in the apocalypse, like the exact same situation where it's like they have no food and it's the
Hmm.
end of the world and like that would be interesting. I would want to see a movie or a show like that. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, that's what we were saying, right? Because I mean, you could kind of take what he says, like, oh, him being a math teacher, and what he's doing now, where he's obviously molesting these girls, or that
Hmm.
one girl at least, right?
Hmm.
Probably what he was doing before the apocalypse, right? And that's why he
Yeah.
wanted to be a priest, right?
You know,
Because he could get in that position.
You know what? I don't see anybody picked up on that, except you, Blind Bro.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that until we kind of were. The more we talked about it, yeah, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
And also too, we were just last night. All of us were having a talk about the same situation about like just pedophiles and like how sick it is,
Oh,
right?
the,
No, well, we had like genuinely, I have an experience like that, right? I'm not gonna share it on stream because I think it's too
no.
like explicit, but like it does happen, right? And
Yeah.
it's messed up. Um, so yeah, you know what I mean? Like
I,
we all had like messed up stories of like a teacher being a pedophile and you would get arrested, right? So it's like I don't know why that seems like common, but it's just fucking disturbing. Like
it's you know what it is? It's a way to get close to children. Basically,
yeah,
you always had it's like you always were attracted to children, teens. So one way to get close to them is by becoming a teacher,
mm,
right? Like
mm,
it's one of the easiest ways by becoming a teacher, really.
right, yeah.
I don't know if they're Mormons or what. Like,
They weren't Mormons, but I mean, yeah, I could kind of see what he was saying that they're very Mormon, right? Like they were essentially following David to a T, right?
yeah, yeah, like he's more of a preacher, I would say,
Mm,
right? Like,
right, yeah,
because he was trying to help Ellie out and convert Ellie, so to have Ellie join the community, convert Ellie to believe in what he believes in. It's pretty much he's kind of a preacher slash religious, I guess.
mm,
Yeah, yeah. These are all the big three that correlate with a lot of pedophilia. Is these
yeah,
three professions right here? Yeah, teacher, coach, and religious leader. Yeah, some of
yeah.
the most
It's absolute
the
sickness. I
Catholic
mean,
Church.
yeah, and they I mean, they cover it up too, and it
Oh
just keeps
yeah, if
going on and on, right? Like,
remember the Penn State coach Jerry Sadesky with back in 2008 2009, Jerry Sadesky assistant coach of Penn State.
mm,
If Degrassi probably remembers that, and they made a movie. They made a movie called Paterno, right? With Al Pacino as head coach of Penn State, and the whole thing was about did he cover up? Did he know about his assistant coach pedophilia? Like,
oh my God. I
yeah,
think, like I really do think they some people know, when these situations happens,
oh
but
yeah,
like it's like how do you even talk about it or mention it because now there's like power dynamics, right?
yeah.
Especially if you're like a
Um,
teacher, right?
the
You
Olympic.
might lose your job and
I
things
mean,
like that.
the most famous recent story about this pedophilia was Michigan State's doctor with the
Oh
gymnastics
my
team.
God.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Degrassi
Master,
has
whatever his
that
name is.
story. Has a
Yeah,
story. Oh my God.
yeah.
We were, yeah, you should have been there because everybody in the call last night that was there left over, we all had a very similar story. So like, it's just weird, right?
I'll
Like
be
my
honest with you.
my story was like looking back on it, like I wasn't traumatized, but like I probably was a victim without realizing.
I never had a teacher hit on me or anything like that. Put their hand
No,
on me.
this is not. This was like my experience was with the swim instructor, and it was with
Oh,
like, yeah,
a coach basically.
yeah. You can look it up. It was in Toronto. It was in the Toronto Star. They arrested the guy. You can look up Toronto Star Summerhays, Mr. Summerhays. You'll find the story. Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
I
they're on the internet too, man. You should see Vortex, man, on Twitter. I don't know if you're on Twitter,
I
but
hate.
like,
Remember, you know those people on the internet on Twitter is like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait till she's 18." I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, that was sick, right? But like that, there was another one where it was like this guy who literally like the it was in a hidden reply, and the guy was literally saying like some pedo shit, and it was like explicit. People were like, what the fuck? And they tried flagging it, and you go to
Eh,
his profile picture, and he's liking all these pictures of like little girls and
eh,
boys too. It was disgusting, man. I
Oh,
can't believe
it,
that was
it,
on
ha-
Twitter.
it
Yeah,
happens in Hollywood too.
yeah.
Uh,
Look at, people. I think it's crazy that people defend this, but like that whole Roman Polanski.
oh,
Listen, Roman Polanski makes good movies, but like what he did is fucked up.
yeah.
Like I don't know how, and seeing that there's some people like even celebrities who like try to defend him, or when
You
they
know,
were when they gave him that applause, like back what that was like
you know
12
what's
years ago now. That was
you know
fucked up.
you know what's fucked up to Grassy, Blind Braille, Vortex? When the NBA had their All-Star game in Utah, they
Mm,
brought back Karl Malone to judge the dunk contest, and Karl Malone, well, Hall of Famer, great player, like legendary player. But it's true, when he was in college, he did impregnate like a 12 or 13-year-old
oh
girl,
my God.
and they brought him back.
That's fucking disgusting. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and and NBA has always been progressive, in terms of
Well, they're hypocrites when they do stuff like this, right?
yeah.
Like,
I don't care
you,
if Karl Malone is the most recognized, well, Utah Jazz player of all time. What he did is inexcusable.
mm, oh yeah, Vortex. Have you like
Chris
watched
Hansen.
To Catch a Predator? Like we used to watch that in like when we were in high school, because like honestly, you never really know who's gonna be that type of person, and you can kind of just tell by like certain signs or like things that they say. Um, like it's like really disturbing when you find out like people you knew went down that path, right? Like, say, oh my God.
I mean, Jared from Subway.
Yeah, oh my God. There was a YouTuber, I'm not sure if you know Justin Silverman,
Yeah, I know Justin Silverman from Hack the Movies and Attack the Video Game Nerd.
right? Yeah, Justin Silverman's buddy was caught for that shit. And they had a skit. The thing is, like, looking back on the skit, you're like, this is a fucked up skit now, right?
Yeah.
But like the guy was like he just said the most foul things in the world, right? Where he was pretending to be Gabe Newell, and they were announcing like I don't know Portal 3 or Half-Life 3 or whatever, and they go and interview him, and like they find out that Gabe Newell is just like this like just disturbed individual who like was sharing all these fucked up stories of how his uncle raped him,
Mm.
and lo and behold, that same guy turns out to be a pedophile in real life. So the skit was like, I don't know if they still have the skit up, but like
It's,
it's disturbing look at it now because
how
you're like, well,
recent
maybe
is
this
it?
might be real. Nah, this was like 10 years ago now.
And Justin Silverman's still around. Like,
Well, Justin Silverman wasn't the one doing it, but Justin Silverman was friends with that guy, right? Like Justin Silverman was in that video.
maybe he cut ties with him. I don't know.
He
Definitely.
did.
Okay, good.
He did, and I think he removed all the because they had other videos, right, where they would play games and he would be on, and they busted the guy. The guy was on the news, and he was like part of this pedo ring. It was really sick shit, man. Like, couldn't believe it.
I had a friend when I was like 12 and he like 8 or 9 year olds. That's kind of sus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, it's weird. That's usually a behavioral issue, though. Like when it's like with kids, but like if you're a grown ass adult, like if you're 18 and you're like going after like a yeah like a 12 or 11, 8, 9, 10, like
I mean,
that's sick. That's a problem, man. Like
I
that's where
like,
it would start.
I know, like, I don't know. What do you consider if you're, 18 is adult and 16 isn't, but if you're 18, if you're attracted to a 16 and 17-year-old, even though you can't technically have sex with them, is
Yeah,
that
that
still
one
considered?
is usually different. That wouldn't be considered that because there's usually
Yeah.
laws in place for things like that. I think
Yeah.
sometimes like
I
I
think,
don't know here in Canada about
I
stuff
think
like that, but I know in the States it's like Romeo and Juliet, but it has to depend on the parents. And it's
I think in some states it's 16, right?
yeah. But like
Like,
actual pedophilia is literally like you're a grown ass, there's adult, and you're
yeah, like,
lusting after kids that are not even in hit puberty yet. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like that stuff is actual like damaging, right? Like that's a huge issue.
I mean, there's teachers, there's professors that like fuck their students. That's obvious.
Right.
Which is
Yeah,
technically
shit
against
like that.
it's which is legal if they're 18 and older. Which is legal. To be honest, it's legal, but it's against university college policy.
Mhm.
Like it's against the
Yeah.
rules, but you could do it
Yeah, I don't
legally.
I don't know, like stuff s- like these. It's just sickening that it happens. Like these
Yeah,
people just come in
I
and
mean,
like, not
Eric
to
Jones,
dwell
man.
on this. I know we're talking about this a little bit too much, but like that's kind of part of the episode, right? Like the episode kind of exposes
Yeah,
that, yeah, without
because there's a lot of
realizing.
religious people, a lot of religious, especially men, are like that, and
Yeah,
and him being a math teacher implies it in the religion, like two of the worst worlds when it comes to pedophilia in one guy.
yeah. I had so many stories with like,
See, this is
uh,
not sick. This is I don't think this is bad. It's just I think it's actually this is fine.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That might be Romeo and Juliet, where the gap is
You know what's
like,
disgusting? You know what's disgusting? Knocked up, not knocked up. Pineapple Expression had like a 30-year-old Seth Rogen dating like a high school Amber Heard. That's
oh,
that's
that's messed up. That shit is sick. Yeah.
that was pretty
Nah,
fucked.
some people like flip out on things like that, but it's really not a big deal. It's really like if they were like 19 and the girl's like 13, like
This
14,
this is
that's messed up in
fine.
my opinion.
If your girlfriend is 16, 17, you're 19, I think it's I in my opinion that's fine because you're not really even though technically you're an adult, it's still I it's
They're
still fine
still
in my
in the age range, right?
yeah. You're
Like by time you're 20, she's gonna be 18. So like that's
yeah.
not that, right? So yeah, I see people on the internet always freak out over things like that, but that's really
It's
not.
it's weird to see like a senior in high school date like a freshman.
Yeah, it is
but
weird. Yeah.
you because like that's like a 17, 18-year-old dating like a 13, 14-year-old, that's kind of weird. But
Mhm.
if you have a senior who's dating like
Yeah,
uh
George was in the chat when we were talking
yeah.
about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I had like the thing
not
is
really,
like
George. You could come in. I think are you still part of Max's StreamYard? Or no?
it does happen all the time, Degrassi. It's like I'm shocked. Oh well, I mean the other thing, yeah, that does happen all the time. Sorry.
Where? Okay, I'll get you in, George, buddy.
But
Yeah.
what was yeah, like man, they I don't know how you can even prevent that from happening because if they haven't been caught, no one would know.
You know what happens? Students notice it.
Yeah,
They
the
start,
students notice it. Yeah,
and that when that students notice, because you know students in high school, especially high school, they like to gossip, and you know stuff will come out.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, like my story, the one that I told you with the swim instructor, I was 7 when that happened.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's what I'm saying. That guy
Like
took advantage of all the guys in our class.
that's disgusting.
It
Why would
is
someone be attracted to a 76-year-old? A guy a 76-year-old can't even get hard yet. Like
because they're sick in the head,
yeah.
man. They're fucking. They actually need like actual help. Like they need. The thing is, it's like they won't know that they need help, and they just like live their lives, but like they genuinely actually need help,
Hey, you
right?
dated the whole family. Can you date the brother too? I'm kidding, Degrassi.
Oh my god. Like there
Hey,
was
there's nothing wrong
another
with that.
situation where that one teacher, this one I didn't say, the one teacher, we still see this guy, right? And this guy, I it seems like my brother had him, some of my friends' sisters had him, and they always say this guy's creepy and shit. And we found this his Instagram, and he's like posing with women and shit, and he's
He's
getting
a
twerked
teacher.
on. Yeah, he's a teacher. I hate this guy. Um, just an absolute scumbag. But he was just, he was just really creepy around the girls and stuff. Like he would want to, you know what? I remember this story. Okay, this one might be kind of crazy for you two. Okay, but this same teacher that we
Crazy for
think is
YouTube. There's no such thing.
hold on, wait, it's not super super crazy. I'm not, but like this teacher, right? This
Yeah.
guy, I'm telling you, this guy is a sick freak. There's something wrong with this guy. So many stories with this guy. So the one story that I have with him is, I think I was in French class, and he was our English teacher, and he was my homeroom teacher, right? Because we were in like grade
Yeah.
8. So this guy, um, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my bag in his class, right? So I go back to the class, and I see, oh, like the lights are off, right? And I see, oh, the computer is on. So I'm thinking no one's in the classroom. Someone just left off the computer,
Mhm.
right? And I notice the door is open. And so I open the door, and then I get a better view of what was on the monitor, and I was shook because it was porn. And then I hear, "Get out of the room! Get out of the room!" And I ran. I ran. I had to run. I was terrified. Okay. And so this guy was sitting there watching the porn in the dark, thinking no one would know, and he forgot to lock the classroom door. And so this is this is how you know that this guy's sick, right? Like, and we used to. I remember one time we were like at his desk, and we opened up the drawer, and there was just condoms all over his
Oh
desk.
my god! Why would you have condoms at
He
a
wasn't
school?
he wasn't our health
A gym and health
teacher.
teacher. Oh my
No,
god!
no, he just had it like all over the. What the fuck?
Whoa.
I'm telling you, the guy just so many of these stories, man. This guy's just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
There's a lot of sick people in this world.
That's just sick people, man. And his name was we call him Mr. Thomas. I don't know if that's no one's gonna dox me, okay, unless some people from my personal life watch this, but like we used to call him Mr. T, right? Mr. T, we're like, oh,
Man.
Mr. T's a piece of shit, man. Like he's an asshole. And then on top of that, too, we thought he was a pedophile.
Well, wait, did you say like, because man, that's weird. That's so crazy.
Did you hear the
because-
story, George, that I just told? Because Aaron
Yeah, like
thought it was
I
hilarious.
heard some of it, but like you say, like you called him like Mr. Thomas. Like my friend, like when we started working for the YMCA, his name was Mr. Thomas to the
Oh
kid.
my god!
So I feel
That's
so
a
bad.
pretty
So it's
common
like
name.
I feel so bad because like Thomas, like my friend Thomas is awesome, and now I hear like this other.
Nah, this guy, he was like, the thing is, like, he told us way too much information, and we saw the way he acted. I mean, first off, he was a homophobe.
I saw.
He was a straight up
Vortex, I saw.
homophobe. Like
He's a
open,
homophobe?
yeah. You know, he called me gay. He called me gay because me and my friend were talking to each other, and he was like, "What are you guys gay? What the fuck are you doing?" And we're all like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, and he just would just go off, calling us gay for absolutely no reason, and it was like a weird, strange rant.
For talking to your friend, which is
Yeah.
a very common thing.
Yeah, because we're standing in line waiting because it was a fire alarm.
He's probably you know what,
The guy's nutty.
You probably caught him looking at gay porn.
I don't know what he was looking at, but I knew it was porn, right? That he was looking at in the classroom. But anyway,
I think it's gay porn. What?
maybe I don't know, but there's so many stories with this guy. It was another thing this guy did.
I love it. This is better than Last of Us.
This guy, he told us, you know what's crazy? He told us he was a criminal. Like, and we're like, how the fuck did he get this job, right?
Because-
Because
They don't do a
you gotta
background check?
checks. Listen.
No,
At my
no,
job, you gotta do a
it's-
background check.
the thing is, I don't know how it works because he committed like a serious crime when he was a teenager.
Oh, that's why.
And so he told us like that's how he became a teacher, right? Because I think he was into like martial arts or something. And he
What?
basically pulled off this. I shit you not, he pulled off a heist at Canadian Tire, right? You know, Canadian
Yeah.
Tire, Aaron, right?
Yeah, I know.
His buddy used to work at Canadian Tire, and so
Oh, so it was
when
an
it
inside
was closed
job.
up, yeah, it was an inside job where they looted the place up. And right when they're leaving in the van or the truck, the cops come in and they arrest him, right? So he went to jail, and because it was a serious offense, he had to like go to juvie, right?
He's
So basically
under
they
18, yeah.
Yeah, because he was so they gave him this ultimatum where it's like, oh, you could like become a teacher and go to like teacher school and stuff, and like you can wipe this away. And so that's what he did, right? But one of the reasons why, like, I always believed he was a pedophile because
Wait a
he
minute.
was always creeping on the girls, and he would always like try to get this one
They
girl
often
by
would-
herself in the
yeah.
classroom.
Yeah,
But we didn't really know, right? There was no evidence, but we just had this feeling, right? The way he would touch the girls, very creepy, right?
Oh
Until
my
my
gosh.
friend's sister, right? This was when we were seniors in high school when this happened, where it turned out this guy was taking pictures of the girls in his classroom, right? Like up their skirts, all this crap, right? And
Oh my
basically the
god.
school was like, oh shit, they found out about it. And instead of firing the guy, they told him just to delete the photos
What?
and
What?
apologize to the girl. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
dude. Yo,
And we're all
listen,
like, yo,
listen.
that's fucked
Oh, you
up.
go to the police, man.
I listen.
Yep.
I kick his ass and then fire him.
Yeah, we were all
No,
like,
you know what
holy
happens is
shit.
not just the guy gets you go to police. Now that guy now just gets in trouble. The principal, the school board, whoever is in charge.
Yeah, because like
Mhm.
That's sickening. That's
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that one guy, and the thing is, one time we were in the mall, I seen this guy, and he was looking at me, and he was like confused because he obviously recognized me, but he didn't know where, right? And then he was like,
okay.
"Oh shit, you were one of my students, right?" But I didn't say anything to him. And we have this thing, me and my friends, where if we do see this guy, you know, we're gonna walk another direction, right? We gotta like
Okay.
run because he's gonna want to talk to us, and we're not cool with the guy. He thinks he's cool with everybody. He's not. Um, what was another crazy? Oh, I told you he was a homophobe, right? This is the irony part of it. So during parent
I think it's
interview,
gay.
he was telling people he was gay. He
Yeah,
was
I knew.
pretending to be. He was like literally. I'm not even joking about this, right? He literally was pretending he was gay, telling people he had a husband, and he was like dressed up like he was
I
trying to
think
be
he is.
like
Huh?
like a stereotypical like and like I told you, he's a homophobe because he went
I-
on a strange rant to us about like the fact that we were
I
gay
think he-
because we were talking.
Oh
I
my
think-
god.
I
Yeah,
think
the
it's
guy
gay.
is sick. I'm telling
Not a
you, the guy
homophobe.
is sick.
Not a homophobe themselves are gay.
Yo,
No.
they
Yeah.
don't want to get out of the closet. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're in denial.
Well, I don't know. The guy has he has kids, right? And so he can't see his kids because this is what I'm saying. Like this guy is
Of
really
course.
weird. Why would you tell this to a bunch of 8th graders? I have no clue. I have no clue.
Is
I
this
don't.
the guy you want to teach? Is this the guy you want to teach your students? Like,
I wouldn't
No, this
trust him. I wouldn't trust him with my kids or my students.
Bro, I have to now. I'm gonna have to look up and see his Instagram again because like you'll never
Oh,
suspect
why?
what this guy looks like. Like,
how long
because
ago was this? Like,
oh man, now it's been like 10 years now.
oh, it's,
Holy moly! It's just like
this is
some people in this world are just like
They're crazy. They're crazy, and that whole school is full of crazy teachers, man. Like,
Bartek. You can say it for the whole fandom
it's-
minutes.
oh my god,
Neurotic pie kisses. Northern
oh
Fairbanks.
my god. He look
Yeah.
no, he doesn't. He doesn't look like Zac Efron. No, he looks more like Mr. T, like actual Mr. T. No, no joke. That's how he looks like,
Who?
but just bald.
Your teacher?
The teacher, yeah. We call him. We say Mr. T because he did look like Mr. T.
That's so.
I'll say this: he gives all the Mr. Thomases in the world a bad name.
Did
Yeah. He's a.
did he have a student named Rocky in the class?
Oh my god.
Yo, Adrian, yo,
Oh my god.
Adrian.
hey, this is Balboa, Drago.
By the way, I'm watching Rocky 2, and what's your thoughts on Rocky 2, George? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I enjoy it, but it's like compared to like the first two Creed films and like the first Rocky film, and I'll even include Rocky Balboa. The pacing does feel slow.
It does.
I
enjoy
had a
it,
I
but
had a
it's
problem
like-
with making him like feel like he's super dumb.
They make him no.
That's what I mean. Like of all the like, because like when I rewatched it, I was like, is it me or like is this like the only film in the franchise that I feel like he's dumb?
Yeah,
I-
he's like really dumb in the movie. It's like, oh my
Because
god, how
like
did
I'm
they?
not gonna spoil anything about. I don't know if you saw Rocky like 3 yet.
He retires in every
No, I
movie
haven't.
too.
No,
Why does he
but
retire in
I'm
every
just gonna say
movie?
this: he's a lot smarter in Rocky 3.
Why-
That's why
Okay.
I was like, it just doesn't make sense.
Because
Like,
they keep saying brain damage, right? He's got brain damage, and I'm like,
The
yeah, but
problem-
like the guy can't read.
You know what? The Creed brothers are the Creed movies are kind of copying the Rocky movies in a way.
Mm.
Hey,
well, not
Max.
Creed 3. Creed 3
I know.
actually
I
felt
didn't see
like
Creed 3. But it's just, I mean, my favorite Rocky movie, I think is, I honestly like, I like 3 the best is my favorite. I like Mr. T.
Mm.
I like Thunderlips. I like Hogan's Thunderlips. That's hilarious. Like he was gay. Like it was wrestling versus boxing, and he had like that was a hilarious moment. But why is it like these boxing movies like I'm gonna retire then unretire, retire then unretire? How many
Yeah.
times did Rocky retire in his franchise? Like
Oh
3 or
my
4
God.
times.
Well, you know, like what's hilarious about the second movie is like they show you the first movie, right? And then at the ending of the first movie, right, they're like no rematch, but yet
Yeah.
a,
Yeah,
a
they
Creed
did.
comes in and he's like, I want a rematch, I want and he's like cussing him off, and you're like, what the hell happened within like just in a couple of minutes where now you're like, I want a rematch, right? It was just like really weird. Like it would have made more sense if he was like, "Oh, I don't want a rematch," until he starts reading the letters, right? And then
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
"Oh shit!" Like people actually think like I actually lost, right? And so that's what makes him want to do a rematch.
Yeah, that could have that would have made more sense.
Yo,
Right? Yeah.
Adrian.
Yeah, and he also like, I don't know. I'm very mixed on Rocky too. I feel like the fact that they made him really dumb when he really
I feel like
wasn't
they
in the
make him. I
first
feel like they
movie.
make him dumb on purpose in all his movies.
I don't know. I don't really like. He doesn't need to be like super smart, but like the way
I
that they
think
were
Like, here's
acting, it
the
was like,
thing:
oh wow.
he's not dumb in like Rocky
you know what
3,
it is. You know what I think
4,
it is.
6, and the Creed movies.
You know what I think
Mm.
it is. Because you know, in all he's not dumb, but he doesn't sound really intelligent either. You know, he's like
Sure, but like I don't know. Like the way that he talked in the first movie was fine. Like I didn't think he was like a
I
super
know what it is. You
educated
know what I think it
person, but
is.
still.
I think it's typical boxing, man. You get punched in the head multiple times. You suffer concussions. And you know what concussions do
You
to your
become
brain.
Brendan Schaub. You become
Yeah. So your speech, your thinking, you might make you sound dumber than you actually are.
But like I couldn't believe that the scene where he's like there
Because
he goes to shoot the commercials and he's like he could barely read,
you know, I
right?
don't.
It was like, oh wow.
I mean, a lot of
And brain
boxers.
damage doesn't happen that fast. It's like a
Oh
very
no,
like slow occurring thing, right?
but it's movies.
I know, but that's why I didn't like it because I was like, well, that
They have to
wouldn't
exaggerate. They have to
happen, right?
exaggerate it, right? They have to exaggerate him.
Like it would have made more sense if he was like he was talking normally and then like it was sudden and he didn't even realize it, right? Like maybe that's like way too in depth for the time, but like if he was there at the commercial, right? Have him read the commercial, but then slur a word. And,
Yeah,
and every time he got to the word, like he's just like, I'm trying to say it, but he can't say it. That would have been more realistic because that's what usually happens, right? It starts with like very small things, right? But being like he couldn't read the entire sentence, it was like, oh wow, like they really just made him look like he's an idiot, right? Like,
did you hear
oh
about
my god.
You hear what Kevin Feige said about Kang? Kang didn't
Mm.
die. He just appeared in Creed 3. No, that's from a
Oh
discussion.
my god.
That's you know what it's from? Kevin Feige didn't really say that, but you know, discussion film has parody accounts.
Yeah.
It came from one of those. That's
No.
pretty funny though. It's a good one though.
Yeah, that
It's-
one is pretty funny. He just went to another movie.
Yeah. He took a Killmonger.
In
Valkyrie.
Arkham and in Rocky 2, he has to do commercials, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how he's gonna make a living because now he's like quit as a boxer.
Okay.
So
He's a
he's
dork.
trying to read off of the cue cards, right? Or they're not cue cards, but you know the giant cards with
Giant
the,
cue
the
cards, I'll
scripting.
call them.
Yeah,
I know what
whatever
you
they're
mean.
called, right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't read it, right? He was like struggling to read the sentence.
Yeah.
and the director was getting pissed off at him, and then he was like, "You know what? Fuck you, you're fired. Get off my set and shit." And so he lost his job, right? Like, and then also too, they're like, before that scene, he's like buys a car, and then Adrian's like, "Oh, can you even drive the car?" And he's like,
how much money did he
"It
make from
doesn't
losing?
matter."
Yo,
Well,
Shit,
how
like,
much money
what
did
the
he
hell?
make? How much money did because he did win in the first movie?
He did. They said in the second. Well, yeah, he didn't win.
Yeah.
He didn't win the
So what
second.
was
That
his
was the
purse
thing
for
that confused me when I was watching it.
Because what did he make from
But he
losing?
still won. He still won money though.
Yeah.
He got like they said in the second movie he won like 30 grand, and so he went and bought a car,
I mean,
and then he bought a house.
30 grand in the 80s is, I guess, it's more. It's
70s.
70s. Oh no, Walking. Yeah, 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, because you do lose, you do win money for losing, and he's like the Conor McGregor fight versus the versus Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. You know, that was like 2017, 2018. I think Conor McGregor. I think whoever lost it much that fight makes like 100 million. If I was in that fight, I would lose. I'll take the 100 million. I wouldn't care. I'll lose. I'll lose.
But it would like ruin their reputation. Like I can
don't
see
care.
why they wouldn't want to lose, right?
I don't
Because
care
like
about
in this
reputation.
movie, in Rocky 2, you could kind of see where it's like, oh, he lost, and then he retired, and then when Creed's like, oh, come out and fight, he's
Yeah.
like slandered him. He was like, oh, he's too chicken to fight me. And it was just like, I guess that kind of from that
So
perspective.
he
I can kinda
retires.
understand.
Retires at 2. Retires at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's retired at 4, isn't he? Or is he still champion? He's still champion. How many times has he retired in the whole franchise?
who Rocky?
Yeah.
Let's see, like
He retires more than Jordan, Michael Jordan.
he's like he retires more than Michael Jordan. He's
'Cause
like
Michael
the Michael
retired
Jordan
3
of boxing.
times.
Oh my god.
Although Skip Bayless and Rocky Balboa thinks Rocky's overrated as a boxer, so he doesn't have Skip Bayless on his side.
No.
Yeah, Skip Bayless was in Rocky Balboa along with Max Kellerman.
Well, I know Stephen A. Smith is in Creed.
Yeah, he was in the recent one.
Mm.
You know, Max Kellerman was in the first 2, and he was also in Rocky Balboa.
Mm.
But no, Skip Bayless was like in Rocky Balboa. He's like, I never thought Rocky Balboa was that good of a boxer. I thought he was overrated.
Oh, but George, I want to get your thoughts on this show, though. Episode 8, you saw it, right? So,
Oh yeah, no, that was a very good episode. I mean, I never got to this part in the game, so it kind of caught me by surprise.
Mm.
And at first, I was like a bit freaked out, but like overall, I thought it was a very good episode. And like I think at the end, that moment with like Joel and Ellie was like very touching.
Mm.
And like it really just shows like how much like Joel cares about her.
Mm. Yeah, that part of the game was because in that section you play as Ellie, and yeah, it happens. The scene actually happens inside with the fire when he like comes up to her. So I mean, yeah,
it makes
I mean,
more
doesn't
sense to
make
do
a
it
difference.
outside because what we
Yeah,
gonna
it's
do
on
this?
fire. Yeah. But I like that's like the whole gameplay section for that was pretty cool because you had to like avoid him, but there was also like broken plates on the ground, so like he would know where you are if he stepped on it, and he would come and attack you. So you had to like sneak up behind him and stab him. So it was kind of similar to that in the show. Oh man.
Yeah, like oh my god, a big match. What the hell's a big match?
Hmm.
What the fuck?
It is a real pants shitter moment. I'm gonna go back and play. Well, when I get The Last of Us Part 1, the remake, because I only played obviously the remaster. That's on PS4. But I'm gonna go play on grounded mode. So I want to see what happens with that scene. That might be
this-
interesting.
Yeah, it was a great I mean, I think it was the most intense episode.
Mhm.
Definitely, the finale is this Sunday.
Yeah.
To
Rip.
once we get the finale out of the way, we can discuss the whole season,
Mhm.
and what we look forward to season 2 whenever that happens in 2025 probably, because they're gonna skip a year, right?
Mhm.
And then and that's pretty much it. Pedro Pascal's Top of the World. Bella Ramsey is her best episode yet. That's her best
Mhm.
episode. I'm hoping the finale is good because typically finales of shows, finales always used to be the one thing of shows that's usually either good or bad, like go either way most of the time,
Mhm.
right? And HBO has kind of as much as their shows are good, they kind of have a track record with their season or series finales not to be the greatest.
Mhm.
Right? They could go back to Sopranos, Game of Thrones, or whatever. But yeah, I think so far, Pedro Pascal is an Emmy-nominated actor for this. I think he should win an award for an Emmys for this. But we'll see. It's really early in this year, and
Mhm.
there's a bunch of
I
other.
think he still might.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people. I feel like Belle Ramsey too could also get nominated because as much as people were like shitting on her for not being or looking like Ellie, like she definitely pulled through. She's probably like one of the best parts of the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
All I ask for next episode is Abby. Please put Abby in
We'll
there,
put the
just so I
father
can
too.
see everybody get triggered.
Post credit scene.
Well, she could. Yeah, she could. The thing is, she could be in the episode because it makes sense,
course.
right? After he gets shot, she rushes to him, right? That's what you see in the second game. It's like
Yeah.
moments
Oh
after,
boy,
right?
so many like triggers and like so many videos. Like Last of Us season finale confirms our worst fear for the next season.
It's gonna happen. I mean,
Pedro,
I
the
still
adventure
like Ellie.
dad.
I mean, Abby.
It's true. Pedro has another big role lined up, but yeah, he's the adventure dad. He's the father of Grogu and a father, basically.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, we gotta see. I agree. We gotta see Abby. Even though she doesn't really appear in this first game, right? But even though she's mentioned, we gotta still see her because the plans to make her one of the antagonists for season 2 and 3. Because we know they're planning to make the second game into multiple seasons, not just one season. Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
Max.
the
Tell me
second
what
game
episode
you
about.
can't do the second game in one
Yeah.
season.
What's breaking news?
That would ruin the show, honestly. What's breaking news, Vortex? What happened?
Cocaine Bear will be
What
in
the
Daredevil
fuck?
Born
Oh
again.
god! Oh god!
I
He's
just read
trolling
this- I
us.
You
just
know
read
what?
this-
Like I
Jeff
feel
loved
like
this. Jeff said this says Kank's story was inspired by the pandemic. I bought all my COVID rage into this guy. What? It's a discussion film. Let me
could be
That guy
Could
needs to
because-
shut up.
because I'm just like exhausted. You know what? Maybe that would make Born Again better. I don't know. Is it me? Like the quality of the MCU lately has kind of made me made me down on the MCU.
I'm saying this guy's
Mhm.
right. This writer, I don't know. Wait, and like his stuff is so out there. It says Kang is like the best comic book villain of all time. I'm like,
What?
Yeah, did you see that? You saw that, right?
No, I didn't see that.
See, this
That's
is
why-
why I'm going
You see what
Scorsese.
you
at
saw
this
my
point.
DM, right? When
I saw your DM. Yes,
That's what I was
I didn't know
responding
that's
to.
what he was. Oh my god. I'm see like that's an MCU stand, right? Because like
So many of them.
I keep saying this, but like Kang
I
was
would
never
pretend.
good in the
I could-
comics.
I could put another 10 on that list.
Yeah, you could put like that whole list could just be a Marvel villains. That would be way better.
Yeah. Oh
for
yeah, I only put like
a big bad.
I put like 3 Spider-Man villains. I only put like I put like 1 Batman villain, even though I should have put more. I put in a couple Superman
Mhm.
villains. I'm sorry, but like nobody talks about Kang until the MCU announced him as a big bad for this phase. I'm sorry, Kang
Yeah,
is like
because
not.
Kang is a time travel villain. He's not a
Yeah,
multiverse villain. So just
yes,
like
yeah.
I just think them mixing time travel and the multiverse,
It's not the same thing. It's really not the same thing.
keep it separate. Yeah, they should have kept it separate. But
Here's the
they
thing.
wanted to do the multiverse stuff.
Here's the Flash. The Flash, when Flash goes back in time, and goes to the future. He doesn't just change the multiverse. He changes the timeline, because in the
Mhm.
Arrowverse, he does go back in the future in time, but also there's also multiverse stuff. It's different in the Arrowverse.
Honestly, Kang should have been like Ultron. I mean, the fact that Ultron was done in one movie, Ultron could have been an entire, uh,
Did-
you know, entire saga, right? So
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't see why Kang couldn't have been one Avengers movie and then move on.
I know. And if Ant-Man could beat that Kang, like
Well, Kang. Here's the thing about Kang though. Like Kang is like a mix of everybody's villains. Like he's an Avengers villain.
he's
He's a
Avengers.
Fantastic Four villain, and it's only because like again he was like going back in time, and then there's like different versions of him throughout the
Yeah,
timeline, right? Immortus and Ramatad and the Scarlet the
Centurion.
other one Centurion, right?
Centurion,
So
yeah.
I mean like it makes sense, but at the same time like they had to go back and retcon a lot of things in the comics, right? Like Avengers Forever was retconning some
Seriously,
things about Kang beforehand, right, to streamline it because it was so confusing.
Ultron should have been one at least 2 movies.
Yeah, he could have been 2 movies. He could have been. I, I mean, I don't know why they pick. I just don't understand why did they pick Kang? Is it because Kang has different versions of him, and that would have been better
You know
for
what it is?
variants?
I just said it. I said this reason why. To find a way to bring the Fantastic Four and X-Men to the universe.
Yeah,
Give me the
but
reason.
why not pick Beyonder? Like
Yeah, I
Beyonder,
don't
in my
know.
opinion, should have been the
And this is
character.
true. This is true. Vortex. Ultron's a bigger villain than Kang.
Yeah, way more important to
Yeah.
a lot of characters than Kang. Kang is just sort of like, I mean, he is relevant. I'm not gonna lie and say he's not relevant, but he's not my favorite character. I feel like there's a lot of people who
He's
read
not a
comics
top tier
really don't.
villain. He's not considered a top tier villain in Marvel.
Yeah, because he gets his ass beat all the time, and then he comes back, and you're like, oh my god, it's Kang again. Like he's just one of those villains. I just don't like Kang. I really don't like Kang. And also too, Kang when they did Avengers The Crossing, that was a terrible, terrible one of the worst Avengers stories of all time.
I
And that
I just don't.
involved like Kang and a younger Tony Stark and all this nonsense. And Tony Stark was Kang. It's all this bullshit that was in that
Oh
comic.
my! It sounds like bullshit.
It is bullshit, yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Apocalypse again if they do him right, because I can't. My God, Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse is horrible. That's
Well, I
not. That
mean,
was
now wouldn't now be the time to introduce Apocalypse because he has a direct connection with Kang?
yeah, yeah, because Egypt, and Mama Tut. Yeah,
But it's not only just that. Like Kang knew about Apocalypse, and he was like, I'm trying to remember. I think he was trying to stop him, or he was trying to like use him for something because he
I
knew what
think
he would become in the future.
who Apocalypse.
Right? Yeah.
I think there was a time when Mama Tut did team up with the Fantastic Four to stop Apocalypse or whatever,
Hmm.
right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Give me a second.
Eh, But yeah, I think I don't know what this writer's thinking. Like he's so much of a. It's like he got his dream job and he's like anything, and it doesn't make sense. Jeff Love did he write comics before, or he's never what? Has he read comics? That's the question.
I feel like for me, outside of like Guardians Volume 3, Deadpool 3, and like I guess like Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, it's kind of hard for me to be excited for the MCU. because like Quantumanium kind of sucked it out. I don't know. It just like at this point, like I'm excited for other franchise films at this point. Maybe I'm becoming Martin Scorsese at this point.
it's him getting. I think it's just like it's like them. You know what?
It feels like we've entered Marvel's Disney Star Wars phase, where the product is declining.
I care about Guardians 3. I care for every movie coming out. Okay, because I had to see how.
I mean, I think there will be
Overall
some that will
story.
surprise, but it's just like I'm not as
All
invested
right, I'm
as I
back.
used to
Sorry.
be.
By the way, Jeff Loveness did write comics.
Then why is he saying this shit?
I think he
Yeah.
wrote a Nova comic, right? Because we were talking about that, and I was saying that actually might be a good thing. Obviously, it turned out that it was a bad thing.
Maybe get him to do Nova. Get him off this project. Get him to do Nova. I know.
Kang is not Kang is barely in the MCU, and the only good part of Kang was in Loki, and he wasn't even Kang yet.
No.
Like I said, I don't mind if you do him in live action, but as of right now, they're like, what else could you do with him besides merge him with other characters, right? Or
Dude.
you still have to do the Victor Timely stuff. That's gonna be in
That's
Loki.
Loki season 2.
You
I
could
don't know,
adapt a
I
Kang
feel like-
dynasty.
And here's the thing: I feel like it's not even just like a Marvel problem. I think there's like a Disney problem because I feel like the quality in most things Disney have dropped the last few years. I think I don't know. Maybe did I say it on Tony's stream last night?
Well,
I basically said like animation in the last few years, the quality hasn't been as good as it used to be for
Did
Disney.
you know-
like Disney
Right.
Star Wars hasn't really been like, to me, the only like Disney related film that's really impressed me was last year was Avatar: The Way of Water.
even the Disney Plus films have not gotten good reviews from anybody.
It
Critics
just feels
or-
like Disney's just like giving fast food out at this point.
And I say the Peter Pan movie.
That's gonna
trailer
be
looks
hot
like
garbage.
shit. Yeah, I think it's gonna be garbage too.
It's like, to me, Disney has
We were
kind of
discussing this that they
dropped.
We were discussing
That's what
this
me
with
and Tony were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the ending of the movie, right? Like,
We couldn't make out the
who
third
was
one.
that? Who was that third character? We
Yeah.
didn't know who the third character was because it
Yeah.
was like his design was so weird.
And you know
No,
what?
Vortex. I'm talking about the last few years with Disney, like under Chapek, and like the last like year of like Iger. Like I've noticed things just haven't really, the quality of a lot of Disney things have gone down.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's not just Marvel. I'm talking about like Star Wars. I mean, yeah, there's some of the shows were
Definitely
great,
Star
but it's like
Did
not
you hear
all the
about
shows
the
were.
Crashy? Did you hear about this crazy rumor? And George, you might not have heard this. You know, Adam Silver, he might be in the running as his next CEO of Disney.
right? I heard
Oh,
that.
the guy from the
I
NBA.
heard that.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, Adam Silver has actually like made some changes in the NBA for the better. Maybe he'll make some changes for.
I mean,
for
I'm
Disney.
kind of a little bit concerned because why would Bob Iger not pick someone who is like a creative person like himself? Like, he was the one that was like, "Oh, let's bring Marvel and let's do all the streaming stuff." Like you have to be creative to come up with some of those ideas that Bob Iger did, right?
I mean, here's the thing. The one thing about Adam Silver is I feel like he is a culture changer. Like the culture of the NBA changed a lot when he
Mhm.
came in as commissioner. So, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like with Bob Chapek, the culture actually got worse.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
but here's the thing. Outside of like promoting a better culture, I don't really know what Adam Silver would be like when it comes to creative decisions because we've only seen him when it comes to basketball.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like that's why it doesn't really make sense. Like he's great for like changing the culture for the better.
And the commissioner works for the governors, the owners, right? And this is a
Yeah.
different totally thing. But I don't know why Adam Silver. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing because the only, I mean, maybe for like the ESPN stuff. I don't know.
Well, they
But
are
the thing
making
is-
they are making a lot of money from Disney. Well, from Disney because ESPN, and they are making a lot of money from Warner Bros. Because of TNT.
No, Degrassi might be right. I think Bob Iger's going to stay longer than he
Yeah.
anticipates.
I It's crazy.
There's no way this company is like almost like they could sink, which would be really weird, right? Like I don't know what's going on. Like so their theme parks were, I mean, are they bouncing back
they've
to
lost.
normal? Like what
Alan Horn, didn't he like go back to like Warner Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
he was
So,
an
like,
advisor, I think, for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but still,
Not
it's
that he
like
came back.
he would
Yeah, an
like
advisor.
if even if you're Disney and you kept him on as an advisor, that's still better than losing him. Like I think losing Alan Horn has like hurt them.
Oh yeah. That's the rumor right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, the rumor is that they're gonna sell Hulu in exchange for the rights.
Well, there's a lot
on
of
top
Hulu.
that.
Well, there's a lot of like NBC shows on Hulu. So
I mean, the thing is, what I don't understand about Disney is why didn't they merge Hulu with Disney Plus? Like, I feel like Disney Plus in the States is like a really bad deal. Like, why would anybody subscribe to Disney Plus for like the entire year, unless you paid for the entire year?
I got it when I got my new cable. So like that's the only reason why because like I
Yeah,
got
he
a
is.
decent
Sorry to
deal.
cut
80,
you off.
right?
Yeah, he is pretty old now.
I mean,
Also,
John
yeah,
Williams is old and was still doing film scores.
I think we're gonna end it here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming on. I'll let you plug yourself, guys. George, go ahead.
Okay, so you can find me at the George. I recently reviewed Creed 3. I had a great time with that film. And tomorrow I'm gonna try to do my first basketball theme stream where I talk, a little bit about basketball, and I also want to like talk about what teams I think are safe to make the playoffs, what teams have to fight for the play-in, what teams won't make it. I'll probably be like around an hour. I don't want to go too long, but yeah, you can find me at the George, and here's my channel.
Awesome.
Bro, so what's on your how we can fix this Sunday?
Yeah. So this Sunday, 4 p.m. on my channel, Blind and Braille, I'm doing a stream about The Last of Us, specifically The Last of Us 2, and what me and my friend want to see for the second season.
I haven't played in the second game, so I don't think I'll be much help.
Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't played the second game, you should
care.
probably not watch it. Yeah, or if you don't care, we also might talk about the third game because this first season actually inspired some ideas for a game. So I definitely want to see what happens with the third game. I hope they make it.
So guys, tomorrow is Let's Talk Pop. Around episode 2, around this time I started this stream, around the same time, maybe a little bit later, whatever, 6:30 to 6:45 Eastern time. We're gonna go about hour and a half. It's gonna be a shorter than a typical Saturday one, and we're gonna talk about all the news that came from between my last show and tomorrow. So basically, a lot of the Marvel news, Star Wars news, Turtle news, Batman news, whatever. We'll talk about the trailer for Turtles. We'll talk about I don't know what else. What else is there?
Might be some other news that comes out.
Oh yeah, there's other news that pops out tomorrow. We'll definitely talk about that. What else is there? What else? Let me check my description from that stream. I don't have what else.
I guess we're gonna be ranting about what happened with Daredevil again. And
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh wait, when are you streaming it? Thursday, right?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Because I was gonna say we're getting a Mario trailer on Thursday.
Probably.
Don't worry, I'll make a video. I'll make a video about that. Definitely. But we're gonna talk about it Saturday for sure. So let's talk pop. Yeah, we're gonna talk about what we basically talked about here with the Marvel stuff. But we're gonna talk about more pop culture stuff tomorrow. And Saturday, episode 3, we're gonna talk about from the news from Thursday to Saturday, entertainment news. But first, before we get into the news from those days till Saturday, Mando Chapter 18 of Season 3, spoiler review on Saturday on Let's Talk Pop 3. We'll talk about that for, maybe 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, and then we'll talk about the rest of the entertainment news. But yeah, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below, guys. Take care.
Peace, everybody.